If you don't get married in Costco, I think
What?
you owe it to them.
I'm not gonna get married in Costco. Come on.
Never say never, dude. Are you kidding?
That's
Everything
true.
you need is
You know
already
what?
there.
You're right.
Welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast, and welcome back. Me, I would like to a warm round of applause for me coming back. I still have the baby. She didn't die. That was good. But something that has been saving me over this break is having a Steam Deck. And so this episode, we're going to talk all about the Steam Decks, our favorite parts about the Steam Decks, the best games to play on the Steam Deck, why we even got a Steam Deck in the first place, which at least my reason was pretty special. Thanks to all you guys. But first, my name is Christian.
My name is Amanda, and I am also back. So, woo! All right, yeah, I was gonna say we could do snaps for this one. Thanks, guys. Thank you. I've missed y'all too. And honestly, the only thing that's been keeping me gaming is a Steam Deck as well. So this is a great way to come back.
Perfect.
Nice. And I am not Bobby or Nicholas. They're not here today. Yeah.
Let's give it up.
All
welcome
claps
back.
this episode.
Both of you guys, I
Thank
think both of you are the most enthusiastic of the bunch. So
Dude.
missing both of you was,
You were
was
kind of
like,
the anchor for a while, hey? Like, how was it? Let's be honest.
dude, I'm like, it's like prodding cattle to get them to move, dude. It's just have you ever tried it? Have you ever made Bobby laugh, dude? It's a monumental task.
Yeah. And it always feels extra good when you do because you're like, wow, I really cracked that egg, hey?
Yeah. But
You just gotta talk about movies, you know?
Yeah.
That's what make them crack a little smile. Just a little one, though.
Yeah.
Only if it's like an obscure movie, though.
So if you don't have a Steam Deck, I think you should probably listen up anyway. Maybe this will be the deciding factor of whether or not you buy yourself one for Christmas or buy a loved one.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
What are we plugging this week, Emilio?
We are plugging our Patreon page. You can type in Digital Logic with a K, Patreon, because I just did it and it was the top thing. So I'm glad
It's
that
only
that
us.
worked.
That's great.
It's only us. Thank you, Donnie Style. He just joined the party. Let me tell you what he got for his $5 thing. He got a shout out on the show, just like it just happened right now. Like you were live for it.
Should we give him a clap? Donnie.
Yeah.
Is this the bit? Is this the
Dude,
bit?
my
Show?
Yeah.
my union representative is going to come in and complain about how much overworked my hands are now from all this clapping. You get access to the supporters part of our Discord. You also get a green name on Discord. There on the supporters page, you get the early episodes. You also get access to our show notes in case whatever you want to look at what we're going to talk about before we do it. Not like I do my show notes 1 minute before the show ever or anything. Like you could totally check it out. Every once in a while we'll do special episodes and you get first, if not exclusive access to them. Especially some not safe for work episodes where maybe some illegal stuff was talked about. Yeah, it sounds spicy. It was. Let's see. We already said that. You get the live roll on Discord if you ever stream, in case you want to promote your stream. High score, and also if you're around for 3 months, we send you some stickers. You're around for 6 months, we send you a T-shirt. Like, we're not good at business, guys. Like, obviously, we're taking a loss here, but we hope we stick around because we're kind of cool. And then after a year, you can make us play a game, any game you want for 3 hours. It could be torturous. We could do it. We can stream it. Nobody's really taking advantage of this too much, though.
No one is taking advantage of it. It's because our community isn't filled with sick fucks who make us play like 2 + 2 = hentai or whatever the fuck game on Steam is like going to be maybe actually pretty fun to play for 3 hours. I don't know. I shouldn't judge 2 + 2 = hentai. I haven't played it.
It's a new Tales of Nadia or Treasures of Nadia or whatever Nadia is doing.
She's very Nadia. Cool. On this podcast, we ping things, which is just noting something interesting. And since it's a Steam Deck episode, I just want to I ran into the site Steam Deck HQ, which is like a news and content creating group for everything Steam Deck. So they have game reviews, but specifically for the Steam Deck. So it goes, how well is the game, and then how well does it run on the Steam Deck? And in those reviews, there are guides and settings to optimize your experience. And if you get 5 out of 5 on content and Steam Deck compatibility, then you get the best on deck sticker, which they have a list of best on deck games that you can kind of scroll to see what you might want to play. And some of them might surprise you because, as maybe you both have found, on Steam, when it says compatibility, there is like a yellow alert sign. And I've found a lot of games that I've tried with that yellow alert sign work great on the Steam Deck. Like I can't tell that they weren't created, like they might not have settings specifically to the Steam Deck, but they work just fine because they're like mapped to a controller, and the Steam Deck is basically a big controller. So Steam Deck HQ, cool site. And yeah, Emilio, what are you pinging this week?
I'm not a Steam Deck power user. I use it in specific situations, like if I know that I'm going to have a long time, where I've got to not do anything for a long period of time in one place. So for those special occasions, it's kind of a beast, right? It's big. And then the case makes it even fucking bigger. Like the case is ridiculous. It's like a small suitcase. So I bought this other case and I loved it, especially for the price. It's called on Amazon, it's called Pro Case Upgraded Flip Case. And it's just like a protection on the back and then a magnetic flap that goes over the front when you're not using it, and you can flip it up or just remove it completely. It's kind of like a magnetic keyboard that things have. Anyway, $20, and I couldn't believe how like the quality of it. It's like very good buy. Highly suggest that you buy it because then you don't have to lug around the big old case anymore.
Nice.
Also, just a side note. So I was at work and I played Steam Deck for like 4 hours, maybe 5 hours straight. And I was in my truck and I was like, I wonder how much of my truck's battery this is going to use because I have an electric truck. 5 hours, 1%.
Wow.
1% with the radio going, the lights on, and air conditioning.
Sweet.
1%.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
If you're in the apocalypse, you can last for many hours with your Steam Deck and your electric truck. Cool.
That's good to know. Hey, that's important because, for me, like part of why I wanted one is because my laptop died. And so I was like, this is the only way with gaming. But that's what's great about them, right? Is that you can keep playing them and they last a long time.
Cool.
And I'm pinging that this, I believe it's Thursday, I will be interviewing with Caroline Marshall, who is the CEO and creative director of As Dusk Falls. Unfortunately, As Dusk Falls is not on Steam Deck, so this is kind of the one thing that is really somewhat not relevant to
that's okay.
our
This
theme
is
today,
so cool,
but
dude.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Because this is okay, and what's cool about this game specifically is actually you can play a good chunk of it using your phone. And so if you have an Xbox or with your PC, I was able to actually stream it to the TV and then sit on the couch and play the whole game off of my phone. So that's sick. It's not a Steam Deck, but adjacent. It's not quite mobile game. It's its own thing. And so anyway, keep your ears, whatever, open for an interview that's coming soon. And if there's any questions for Caroline Marshall before Thursday, feel free to put them into our listener questions on our Discord, which you can find at dlgaming.net.
It's like we're a real media company all of a sudden.
Oh my God, crazy.
Wow.
So we have a MTG.
Thanks for doing those, Amanda.
Amanda's interviewing bangers. Cool.
We got stuff going on.
Awesome. Okay.
Absolutely.
We're moving down to highlights. So I'm trying to answer the question, why did I get the Steam Deck? And I guess, I don't know. Is there anyone out there who doesn't know what the Steam Deck is? Maybe we should just quickly mention handheld PC by Valve, half controller, half PC, like a Nintendo Switch, except for Steam.
Better.
Okay. So now that better, also relevant and cheaper games, which, oh my God, Nintendo games are so expensive.
Dude,
so
Binding of Isaac on the Nintendo store is like $30 or something crazy.
That's
And
astronomical.
it's never been higher than $14.99 on Steam.
Yeah,
ever.
that's nuts.
And
yeah.
it's usually on sale for $8.
Yeah, save some money in the long run. Buy the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
That's my key pitch. So, okay, this is a bit of a story. So, I'm at work. This is how I got my first Steam Deck. I'll also tell you about the second Steam Deck. Rianne bursts into my office as I'm working. Guys, we govern our life with a spreadsheet, okay, for our finances. Like, if it's not on the spreadsheet, we're probably not going to spend money on it. We're not like very few impulse buys. So she bursts into the room mid-month. Steam Deck not on the spreadsheet. And she says, stop what you're doing. I want to order a Steam Deck. And I go, whoa. Are you okay? She's like, do it before I change my mind. Do it right now. Order it, and we're just going to get it. So Valve makes things easy. And like, I don't know, under 3 minutes, we had ordered a Steam Deck, $350 or $400 Canadian. And we sit down and we feel pretty good about it because the plan is, Rihanna's pregnant. We're about to have a child. Rihanna's about to take a year off work, and she wants a handheld that she can spend a lot of time in. And specifically, she wants to play Hades 2 and a game called Tales of the Shire, which is like this Animal Crossing set in the Shire. So that's the plan. Super happy. We pick up the Steam Deck. Great. We started up. This is amazing. We're couch co-oping. We're passing the controller back and forth. Then a couple days later, I get a text. You have another package. I go, okay, cool. I didn't order something, but maybe some people are sending us stuff because we're having a baby, like diapers. So I go to the post office. It's a Steam Deck outside packaging. I'm like, what? This is weird. I open it. I'm like, oh my God, another Steam Deck. This is crazy. I go to my credit card. I go, Rand, did you accidentally order 2 or did you order 1? Did we get charged? No, nothing. So I'm thinking, I'm wondering, I'm using all the muscles in my brain to work out how could I have possibly gotten 2 Steam Decks. And I go, oh, Valve probably accidentally sent 2. Perfect. And I go about my day. And then I go, wait, I don't know about that. So I message some people on Discord and I say, hey, did you guys send a fucking Steam Deck? And it turns out, yes, you guys are a lot of the community led by, Amanda, Burn Division, Emilio, Bob, all our buddies. They all pitched in to buy a Steam Deck for me and Rianne. And so I tell Rianne this, and this isn't an impulse buying household, folks. She goes, fuck. We were getting a Steam Deck in the mail, and I spent $250. And so she's like, "Oh, this is why I never impulse purchase. This is why we do things by the spreadsheet." She's laying it into me, and I'm like, "We could have never this is a great gift. Like, we could have never guessed this." And then we're side by side playing Baldur's Gate 3 on the bed, and she's like, "Nah, this is fucking awesome. Like, this is the real shit.
Knees.
Yeah, this is like
awesome.
the best thing ever." So, Baldur's Gate 3 runs surprisingly well. Kind of eats up the battery, but still better than what Rianne's current computer can do with it. It just takes forever to start up on her computer. Her computer's kind of old. And it's a big game. So I was like, what the hell? The Steam Deck can do Baldur's Gate 3. What else can it do? Dome Keeper and Ape Out are games that I've been enjoying on. I was like, these are typical Steam Deck games, right? Like, those are my go-to. Right. Side scrolly, big. Right. I connect it to the TV. It's fun. There's no like small text or anything. But then I'm like, I don't know, guys. What about a city builder? What about my favorite genre? Is that going to work on the Steam Deck? And I think maybe a lot don't, but Against the Storm, which is like a roguelite city builder, worked perfectly. There is a lot of small UI stuff, but the Steam Deck has this great feature where on the trackpad and then you click the touchscreen and the text just gets bigger for you and it's fine. It's so intuitive. So that's cool.
Like a little magnifying glass, right?
Yeah.
If you want it to be.
And I was like, okay, what about a first-person RPG? I've always wanted to play this game, Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I never thought I would have the time to like play it or finish it. So I get it on the Steam Deck. It says it's not compatible, but it's mapped to like normal controllers. So I'm playing it, and this shit runs fucking awesome. I can't believe how good it looks in front of me. I'm like, what the hell? I never expected the Steam Deck could do this and it would be fun. And again, that's a game with a lot of text. It's like a historical RPG. Lots of text, lots of small. The title of Angmar means blah, 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 like so much. And the magnifying glass makes it easy. Playing board games, Root. Rihanna's playing a chill puzzle platformer on her own time. Dwarf Romantic. I mean, guys, like the versatility of the Steam Deck is fucking awesome. And even though Emilio has talked about it and Amanda's talked about it before, like, I guess I just didn't really get it. Like, I didn't get how awesome it was until I get it. So, those are the games I've been playing on it. There's some hidden knowledge and tips I wanted to share. So there's this game, Midnight Monitor, that if it detects that you're playing a Steam Deck with it, it will spawn a Steam Deck in game and your character will be able to pick it up and play it. So it's like a Steam Deck within a Steam Deck. I don't. It's Steam Deckception, if you will.
So meta. You're so meta, dude.
And then False Josiah sent me so much on the Steam Deck and like how to optimize it. But one of the ones I've been using, one of the custom apps is Radio, like Yo-Yo Radio. It's an internet radio plugin. So I'm playing my games and I'm listening to like the morning radio, which is something I like to do when I usually work. I pull it up on a browser, but now it's right in my Steam Deck. So yeah.
Beautiful.
That's cool.
Yes.
So the story that you let off on, let me hit you from the other side of that, right? Because I put the thing together. And so, well, it was Burn Division. He's like, hey, do you think we should get them a Steam Deck for the... I was like, oh, that's a perfect. So I started working on it, right? And then as I got the people together, you know, I'm like... Danny Ocean, I'm putting together a team.
Yeah.
You know? So
Ocean's 27 or however many people.
yeah. And so that's all going. And like on day 3, and they're like, fuck, I think he bought one. And we're like, no, it ruins everything. And then I forgot who it was, but they were like, why not 2? And we're like, yeah, fucking why not? Right. You know, one specifically for each one of them. So, so I was like, how am I going to get his address? I mean, so I asked you, hey, I'm going to send you a onesie, right? And then you're like, oh, here's my address. But then after this whole thing, I was like, oh, it's a twosie, not a onesie. And then when I realized that we're going to send you a second one, and you're just like, yeah, whatever, I'll take a twosie. Like, there's no such thing.
I thought it was an outfit that just had pants and top instead of a onesie.
Yeah. So, oh, and then I'm like, okay, money's in the bank. Gonna send this right over. Guess what? Can't send it to Canada. So luckily, Workonius fronted the money up there in the Great White North and sent it right over to you.
That was kind. Thank you, Workonius.
Yeah. So
Couldn't have done it without him.
And thank you, everyone.
that was really cool.
That's good.
Also, for the record, it was Lotion that said that we should get one for Rianne.
Nice.
And I don't know if we've mentioned that Tag Laura was a part of this, and so was Sniper. Not Sniper. Cricket
I was
Soldier.
a part of it. Cricket
You were
too.
a part of it, yes,
Okay,
but
cool.
Cricket was part of it too.
That's great.
Yeah, there's more names. I don't have them in front of me, but
Well, it was super
good.
appreciated, and like it's been totally saving both of us. Like, yeah, we could have shared a Steam Deck, and that would have been fine, but it's just so much better having our own. We do like
when you guys write your fucking how to raise a baby book, you're gonna be like, step 1, get a Steam Deck, or 2 if you can.
Each get a Steam Deck. Yeah.
We like pass each other in the night with baby shifts, you know, like every 4 hours or something, 3 hours whenever she woke up, and we'll like she'll be like, okay, make sure my Steam Deck was my Steam Deck charging. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna charge mine, and we'll like trade off. We're like, okay, good night. Here's your pretzels. Like, I get her station set up or whatever with the baby. Yeah, it's awesome. Okay.
As far as it being more powerful than her PC, there is a dock, which I'm sure you know of, but you don't really need it. You can do everything the dock does with just wire, with cables. Have you looked into kind of doing that instead? Yeah.
So we were going to order the dock at a later time, but being the frugal spreadsheeters, we were like, we probably just buy a really long USB-C cord. And if that is like, you know, stupid to use, or it's like hard and difficult, we'll just buy the dock. And it's been working great. So we've been using that.
You already have it set up. So this is basically her desktop as well now, right? Yeah,
basically.
When John came over, and I think just recently when we had DLG Con, I believe Cricket was running, he was on the Steam Deck. And
he was on the Steam Deck too?
On a spare monitor.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And so just another thing that this thing does is you can totally LAN with it. Like,
I'm excited to LAN at the next, like this changes LAN. This blows the door open on LAN, right? This is like the LAN game changer, which is cool.
It really is.
All right, Emilio, what's your story about, what's your personal connection to your Steam Deck?
I mean, there's nothing special about me getting it. Like I saw it, you know, the announcements, and I think Steam just really delivered a solid product at the right price. The reviews were good. You were like to get a a computer of equal value or power at the time was like $300 more, you know?
Right.
And it's just like, this is a computer. You can put it in desktop mode. It's running Linux, but still you can do just about anything you want on this thing. I don't know if they're taking a loss or what on each one, but I don't think they're making much money on the hardware. That's for sure. I think they just nailed it. And so I bought the cheapest one, but now the OLED is out, but I don't know. I guess I'll wait for the Steam Deck 2, as far as like upgrading.
Oh, sorry to just real quickly interrupt. Do your kids use your Steam Deck as like while you're on the PC or no? They're like like their Switch?
I should set something up because Luna loves playing, just moving characters around right now because she's only 4, you know. Right. So I can probably put something real. That's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
As far as what I like playing on it, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, and then I realized just any Survivor works perfect. I mean, you're just moving a character around, you know. Binding of Isaac, the same thing, moving a character around, so it's obvious. Nova Drift is kind of like an asteroids game. That one's perfect on there. I mean,
dude, it's so good.
It's almost better I think it's better on the deck than it is on PC.
It's so hard on PC. I'm like left clicking and right clicking to move my thruster, or however it is, left click to shoot, right click to move thrusters or something. Yeah. It's way better. And then Hades, and I'll talk about this later, is like, it's basically, it was just a Hades machine for me for like a year. It's the only thing I played on there. Yeah.
So, and it's just perfect for it. But, you know, we've all played Hades to death by now. So, but yeah, I haven't really, you know, I as far as like big games, I launched, forget the fucking zombie game that you're a outlaw motorcycle guy surviving in the.
Oh yeah.
It was like a Sony game. But
Days
anyway,
Gone?
Yeah, Days Gone. Thank you.
Yeah.
But that thing was chugging pretty hard.
Oh, was it?
I mean, I didn't do any huh?
It was chugging pretty hard. The other thing, dude, that I thought you might have played was Cyberpunk. It says it's completely compatible or made for the Steam Deck. It has like the badge.
Yeah, I haven't tried it.
No, okay, cool.
I did. It's honestly, it runs super smooth and really well. I'm so impressed with Cyberpunk, nuts, actually. It runs so nice. I think like I started playing it and only got like 20 minutes in and was like, I better stop or I will only play this and I will stop eating. It runs great.
So hidden knowledge or tips on this. Holding down the Steam button brings up all the shortcuts. Shortcuts being Steam button plus like left trigger or left bumper or left cursor. There's a bunch of them. And then to get just a list of them, you can get it. So screenshots, stuff like that, you can get a list pretty quick, very easy. Now you can remote play both ways on this thing. So you can play your Steam Deck using the horsepower of your PC. You could have your PC running it and you're streaming the game. So you can get, you know, all the graphics as long as you have good internet. You can have your PC doing the heavy lifting, or you could do it the opposite. So Rianne could stream her Steam Deck to her without the cable, you know,
okay, cool.
To her desktop. So that's another thing that you can do. You can play Game Pass. You could also emulate older console games, which is kind of like a legal gray area, or it's just stealing. I don't know how you want to look at it. You could also download, install, buy games on your phone on the app, and your deck will do it remotely. So you can, as you're at work thinking about what you're going to play later, you can already have it all loaded up when you get home.
Sweet.
So that's another, yeah. Those are all things you can do.
Take these tips.
Just remember, it's a PC. Anything you can do on a PC, you can do on this thing pretty much.
It's pretty crazy. The list that False Josiah sent, I was like, okay, you're doing what? Oh, my sister was dating this guy, and randomly he's like, oh, I make Steam Deck, not skins, like UI skins for the Steam Deck. And he's showing me his marketplace, and I was like, yeah, he made one that looked like a Pip-Boy. So everything was like Fallout, and it looks so awesome. So I'm looking forward to like maybe modding the back end of it, like jailbreaking, how you used to do on a phone or something, to make it more unique. But yeah, cool.
That's cool. I would love a Pip-Boy. That's sick.
Yeah.
But especially with that would be cool.
Yeah.
So for me, how I got into my Steam Deck was the similar reason to why I've been away from the podcast for so long. My laptop shit out, and it's very hard to be on a PC gaming podcast without any PC gaming. And so I, like many other gamers, I'm kind of like, I can't fully never play video games again. So I started looking into the options and was like, a Steam Deck makes the most sense for the way my lifestyle is right now, and especially with traveling, and I could still use it. And I was like, I really miss Baldur's Gate 3 and I want to get something that allows me to play that. So then I got the Steam Deck and I played Baldur's Gate 3. I looked up some the best ways to optimize the game on YouTube and change the settings so that way it looks great, and started playing it and was like, I fucking hate this.
Oh, really?
I actually do not like playing Baldur's Gate 3 on Steam Deck. Might be a hot take compared to you, Sniper, but my issue is one, I do not like radial dial menu UI. I don't like it. Don't like that shit at all. I don't like how you have to go into all these different paths to get to something that I could have just like hit Z with, that drives me nuts. So I felt like it took me 2 hours on the Steam Deck to do what I could do in 15 minutes on the PC. And I was like, I will never beat this game if I play it on the deck.
Right.
It's kind of how I felt about it. And it just kind of felt clunky at times. Like, I think having being spoiled and having a pretty solid PC that then died and trying to play it on a Steam Deck just fell really flat for me, at least with Baldur's Gate 3. Okay. But I've grown to really appreciate other games on it instead. Like, I finally beat Coffee Talk.
Nice.
Which I loved, and I'd love to get Coffee Talk the sequel and play that. That was really great. I've been playing some really weird little quirky games that have been a blast. I know, me? What? No. She does quirky? Yeah. I've been playing this game called Welcome to Elk, which, holy shit, is such a fucking weird ass game. So Welcome to Elk looks like it would be animation, but it's more like a Rick and Morty kind of thing. Like, it's very adult. There are definitely very adult themes. They swear. It's such an interesting thing because it's stories told by people where you get onto this island way up in the Great North or something. It's got to be Great North with all the damn snow. So something. And the way they've done this game is so cool. Like, you run around in it, which looks so silly to begin with, but then there's all these little mini games inside of the game that are super unique, and they completely flip the perspective all the time. Like, there's this one thing where you find this dead dude and you have to lift him up and bring him over to a wheelbarrow, and then all of a sudden the whole thing shifts so all you see is his face, and you have to close his eyes and lift him up, and as you're walking you get transported into this other memory, which then the developer has a real life video discussion about what inspired him to make the scene. I have not seen, I've never seen shit like this. Like, I've never seen a game like this.
It's like DVD commentary inside of the game itself.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's so wild. This game is really cool. I think it's super slept on. It's such a fascinating game. And I keep finding these moments where I'm like, this is wild. Like, you walk into a bar and they're like, let's have a karaoke contest, and then you can mash the buttons to sing whatever song you want, and the other person mimics it, and then you can have a dance-off where you have to hit the buttons to sync with somebody else. But then, like I said, there's these very adult themes of robbery and death, and they're like, get on the fucking ground and shit like that. So it's not kid friendly, but it's great, and it has this very funny kind of playfulness to it. So I'm really enjoying this game right now because, like I said, it's super unique, and I've not seen anything like it. They were having some sort of a sale. I think it was Acapara Games was having a sale for their publisher sale. And I was on the Steam Deck and I was like, what kind of games would be good on the Steam Deck? And I found this, and it was really that they were showing the video interview of the dev where I was like, what the fuck is this? And so I started looking more into it, and I was like, I kind of like this. And it was on a huge sale of a bundle. I got that game, and I got another game that I put on my on the radar, and for both of them I think I paid $7 total and was like, sure, why not? Like like why wouldn't I? And now I've grown to really, really enjoy it. Yeah, Welcome to Elk, it's wonderful. Coffee Talk's great too. One that really surprised me of being so good on the Steam Deck, and kind of going back to what you were talking about a little bit before of the compatibility, how you shouldn't just kind of scoff at the playable and like the little eye icon in yellow, because sometimes those games actually still play really well. For me, I experienced that with Anno 1800. Great city builder. Played it quite a bit on the PC and then went over to Steam Deck, and I actually really love it on the Steam Deck. It runs pretty fun, like it runs really well. It graphically looks gorgeous on the Steam Deck still. Being able to use the trackpad is like a huge game saver with that, and really I think the only issues I have found on the Steam Deck is the small text of the UI, and that's about it. Otherwise, Anno 1800 fucking slaps on the Steam Deck, and it's great. I really enjoy that and would love to go back to that one.
Question on the city builders. Are you, like, when you guys like select an area, are you using the touchscreen or the trackpad?
I'm using the
trackpad. Oh yeah, I'm using the trackpad.
Yeah.
All right. And I guess you could also use, the cursor, I mean, the thumb thing, you can turn that into your cursor. You can do whatever you want, basically. You can remap everything. You can make the thumb pad, I believe, your cursor instead of the trackpad if you wanted to.
It's so nice, the customization that you can have with the Steam Deck, and in some of the games you really need it. Like a game that I just obviously love is the Elder Scrolls and the Elder Scrolls Online. And the Elder Scrolls Online was a whole fucking to-do to get on my Steam Deck. It's not easy. I really have to thank False Josiah a lot for that. He helped me out a lot with that one. It's not intuitive. It doesn't just run, because it's fine if you buy anything, obviously, on Steam. Like, it would have ran fine. But I didn't buy ESO on Steam at all. I bought ESO right when it launched, so it was through the Bethesda launcher. And Fallout 4, I would have similar issues because of buying it through Bethesda. In order to do that, you kind of have to, which bleeds a little bit into my like hidden knowledge and tips. I mean, utilize YouTube and Reddit and just Googling and looking into on the internet, reaching out to False Josiah. Like, there's so many people. It reminds me so much in a way of like the older days when it was like, I want to modify the skins on my Sims. How do I do mods? And then like you're looking it up and like you're building it. This actually kind of feels a little bit like that, where there's certain things that you come across on the Steam Deck where you're like, I don't know how to do it, but then you end up going down wormholes of how to do it. And there's so many different ways to do it. Like, just even ESO in general, there are so many ways to get that to run. There's multiple paths, which on one hand can be very daunting, right? But on the other hand can be really exciting and really nice, because it's kind of like there's so many ways that you can get there, you know? And so like with the Bethesda, in my case with ESO and having it from Bethesda, I had to install the launcher through Windows as like kind of a shadow thing on the Steam Deck using Wine or Proton, and then have it be done on the desktop side, like run it in desktop mode to do it, and then had to basically like shut off the launcher and connect it to my Steam Deck, which then on the Steam Deck, I had to go into the compatibility and make it compatible with Proton 9. You see what I mean? There's all these things, which then I was so excited. Because when I finished it, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm a hacker, man. Look at me. I'm a developer. Just kidding. I'm not. I'm obviously not. All I did was follow steps and shit. It's nothing exciting. But I was like, yeah, I did it. And then the funny part is that I load it up, I go to play it, and the key binding is so fucked because the key binds are still to a keyboard that I don't have because I have the Steam Deck. So I have to go in and completely change all the key binding, which ESO or any large MMO has so many keybinds for everything. So it's kind of like, oh man, what kind of combinations or like weird ass shit do I have to do for like a specific like barrel roll or something like that, or you know, all these different things. And so on one hand, it's so beautiful and wonderful that there are so many ways that you can adjust, tweak, and alter all of this. But it also you can sometimes run into some issues. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was very excited to have a desktop PC again for ESO specifically, because it's just kind of a whole to do with the Steam Deck, but at the same time, I did it, damn it, and it does work.
I'm proud. And I got the tattoo, and it's on my Steam Deck.
Amanda, are you going to? So you have your own desktop, or you're sharing one now?
I have one that I'm using, just me. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay,
yeah.
Because I was wondering if you also would be using your Steam Deck as your PC.
No, I can, but what I'm really enjoying is kind of like laying on the couch or laying in bed and using my Steam Deck. The way that I'm kind of viewing it now, the Steam Deck and how it works in the PC, is that any game that's complex, like an MMO, and like Baldur's Gate 3, things like that, these big games, I would rather play them on my desktop. But these really fun, cute side scrollers and like the kind of games that make me go, oh, that would be great on a controller.
Yeah.
The Steam Deck is so perfect for it because I love the bigger screen. I love being able to go around and explore these things. Like, I would probably never play Elk on the PC because I'd be like, why? Or Coffee Talk. I'd be like, why am I just going to sit here just to basically like, spam enter? Like, that's goofy. But on the Steam Deck, it's perfect because I'm like, oh,
you're relaxed.
I can take a shit and do this.
Yeah.
You're relaxed, right? Yeah. No, but you can lay on the couch and you can lay in bed and like do these things. And it allows us to really dive into more of these other games that maybe we wouldn't normally play or try on an actual desktop, which I think is so cool.
Yeah.
And it's going to be lovely, like when flying and traveling. Like, I'm going back to Michigan in December, and it will be so nice to be able to, like finish one of my games that's on my radar. Like, I'm really hoping that I can play that when I go back to Michigan because it'll be good. I just think that a lot of the full narrative visual novels, side scrollers, I could see the Vampire Survivor kind of games. Like, these games really, really shine, I think, on a Steam Deck.
That's why.
But like an MMO, I don't know.
Not quite. I like Steam Deck HQ's
you
best on
play
deck. Like, they're like, this is better on the Steam Deck. Like, that's the label they're giving it. And I thought, yeah, that's so clever. Yeah, these games probably are funner when I'm laying on the couch, and the mode matters. Yeah.
But to that, you wouldn't play any MMO on a controller, Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like New World.
I think some
casual.
people do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah. All right, where are we at?
Okay, cool. So we're moving down to On the Radar, which this episode is games that have caught our attention for the Steam Deck. So things we're excited to play or that are coming out. There's this game, Nexus 5X, which is mine. It's a grand strategy Stellaris Light, I'm calling it. I've coined it. It's mine. So 1 hour long sessions, multiplayer available, multiplayer encouraged, better with multiplayer, all the reviews are saying. Reminds me of Space Ozymandias. And an hour, that's probably the time I get after Mara, our daughter, has fed. And between her passing out from being milk drunk and waking up and, probably I don't want to be gaming around her, want to be, doing cute, like looking into her eyes and asking her the secrets of the universe. So an hour is a perfect amount of time. Stellaris, super complicated. Stellaris Light, probably not so complicated. I like it, but I can still tell from the Steam reviews and the Steam page that there is strategic depth here, even with a quicker experience. And I just wanted to ask the community at large, has anyone played Dwarf Fortress on the Steam Deck? Because maybe that's the next one. And at DLG Con, when we all bring our Steam Decks out, do we call it a deck off? That's all I want to know. Yeah. A deck off?
I like that.
Are we going to have a deck measuring contest?
I think we're going to have a deck off and a deck measuring contest. I'm sure JP Diddy's going to have the biggest deck. I would not be surprised.
JP Diddy's going to deck feed us. Stretch, but close.
By the way, 92% on this game, positive reviews, and $15. Like, it was like a steal, dude.
Yeah. Yes, does seem pretty cool. And I don't know if it's one of those board game ports. I played Root. I just briefly mentioned it earlier. Super complicated game. It was used before it was this cutesy animal game. It was used as a war game to train the United States Army commanders on how they might want to fight like a guerrilla war. So each faction plays completely different, and you can totally tell, like, there's super strategic depth to it. And that means like a bunch of specific tokens, and the board game version is just complicated. But on the Steam Deck, The computer handles all the tokens, and you just get to enjoy the game. So,
that's lovely.
These strategy games can be a lot more fulfilling digitally. Yeah.
Now I know the radars, we're trying to bring you deep cuts, things you wouldn't have found otherwise on your own, maybe. But yeah, I went. There's no other way around it. Like it's gonna be a Hades 2 machine for me.
Yeah.
When Hades 2 is out, there's certain games that are like kind of just exclusively played on the deck for me. Nova Drift being one, and Hades being one. So Hades 2, it's just a natural fit. I'll probably play the whole game on there on a trip or I don't know. Whenever I have time.
You're waiting for the full release then, obviously.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the full release.
Yep. Okay, cool. Sweet. Amanda.
Well, I was going to say for me, like the ones on the radar for me, the first one is one that I got when I bought Welcome to Elk, and it's called Darkside Detective. And you are investigating bizarre and confusing cases of called Twin Lakes. So there's like flesh hungry tentacles and like mafia zombies and all these kind of things. And it seems kind of quirky and funny. It's a point and click game, pixel graphics and a mystery. And so I love a mysterious game like that. And so it just seems like it's going to be really funny. And really cool. I'm hoping it's got a good story, but I mean, if it's anything, granted it's the publisher, not the developer, right? But if anything tells me about the Aquapara games is that with Elk, that the story is going to be there and it's going to be funny.
They might be up your alley.
I'm hoping this is similar. Yeah.
A publisher with Amanda's name on it. Also, really quick, Bobby is a fan of these games. He interviewed the lead developer, the Spooky in Spooky Doorway, the guy who does the pixel art. Paul Conway, I believe his name is. And so this is a beloved game already by one person on the cast. And I think, Amanda, you have Bobby's blessing, I think. I think I can speak for him and say that, but yeah.
Yeah, Bobby and I do align with some of the things, like especially the Sam Barlow games and stuff like that. So like I could definitely see, I'm excited to play this game. I think it's going to be a blast. The next game also seems like it's quite up my alley in a totally different way. It's called Zero Sievert. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. I am from the Midwest. Don't come at me. So it is a top-down extraction shooter that was described to me as kind of being like Tarkov. However, I'm going to actually kind of quote one of our listeners, The Lotion, about this because he has been playing the shit out of this. He's playing it right now. Been playing it for 40 minutes. I see you, Lotion. And so he said that this falls into like a one more round kind of category. It's an extraction shooter that rewards a great run with weapon upgrades, increased stats, and base improvements. And depending on what resources you're able to acquire and bring back without dying, then like obviously you can increase all kinds of things and have more for next time. Similar to Tarkov is what it seems like. So you're playing
multiplayer
as a stalker. And it's not multiplayer, it's single player. But it seems really well. And from what he's saying too, is that like the enemy AI is incredibly smart, that they'll hunt you down if the wildlife doesn't get you first. But he says that they're just as vulnerable to the fog of war and the line of sight that is required to find you. So besides humans, there's like beasts and anomalies and irradiated zones that you have to kind of be careful of. The maps are procedurally generated. So every single run is kind of going into unknown territory. And you want to take your time.
This seems fun.
It seems super fun. And so it's a great like single player extraction shooter is what he's saying. And that it's kind of like the more you use particular weapons that you're getting, which once again you loot and take them out with you, then your stats for them are going to increase. So that's kind of cool too. You also are able to fully modify your weapons with grips, stock, scopes. And this is the part that kind of does remind me of Tarkov as well, is that like it's incredibly nuanced, right? And there's all these different things that you can do. And so you don't want to neglect your weapons because they'll begin to deteriorate. And so then, and if they deteriorate, then the chance of your weapon jamming in the middle of a fight is going to probably mean certain death. And so you have to deal with hunger, thirst, and energy to maintain. So very survival-like in a lot of ways. But like I said, this seems like a super sweaty single player extraction shooter that's top down with really like fun pixelated graphics and like kind of a really cool way to essentially get the Tarkov fix while playing a Steam Deck. I think it would be absolutely fucking bonkers if they made it PvP, and that would be so hilarious and funny. But this seems like a really, really cool and fun game to play solo, especially if you're looking to kind of itch a, stick shooter that is way more advanced in a way, right? And so yeah, and this one came out really recently too. Like October 23rd is when it came out, and so far the reviews for it are, I mean, they're 76% recently of mostly positive, but 85% overall of all reviews is very positive.
And we have the lotion in our corner saying it's like his review is worth what, 10,000 reviews to me? 20,000? I don't know what the conversion rate lotion review to, but I trust his word, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I trust his word too. And especially when it comes to what I would like as well, because he knows me very, very well. I've known him the longest. Him and SOCOM and Taglora I've known like the longest in this community. And if usually he's dead on. If he's like, you're gonna like this, I'm like, oh bitch, I love this. Yeah. So I think he's right. I think I'm gonna really enjoy Zero Seabird. So that's definitely on my radar to check out for sure.
Cool. Awesome.
But I got another kind of weird one that I'm just going to throw in here. It's called War Sim, The Realm of Azlona. I had a coworker recommend this one, and it's super bizarre. I feel like, Christian, you'll enjoy this. And I feel like it should run on the Steam Deck. I'm seeing that it's playable. That some of the things that's going to be kind of weird is that you'll have to show like a mouse, keyboard, or non-Steam controller icons once in a while. But it looks like it's playable. And it just reminds me of some like old notepad thing. But this is cool because it's a deep and rich text-based kingdom management game where you have all these like old school graphics, like MS-DOC kind of shit, where you navigate millions. And you navigate millions of different procedurally generated races, events, and area. It's all super random. And there's so much depth that goes into every direction and everything you play. And so they'll just have all kinds of crazy things, like a ton of vampires come in, and how do you handle it? If you accept them, then all of your people are super scared and upset. But then if you reject them, then you have riots going on. Like you can't accept vampire, you can't say no to vampires. And so there's all these things that just keep happening based on what you do in building your kingdom. And so I figured that would be kind of a funny game that you might enjoy as well.
Yes, of course. This reminds me of Yes, Your Grace, which is like one of the best games that I've played. And it was the first type of this game that I've played. The ASCII art entices me, I think. I don't know. But no, I think you're... One Amanda recommendation is 30,000 Steam reviews. That's the going rate. Okay, that's it to beat.
Well, it is 96% overwhelmingly positive of all time. So
I wouldn't care.
All right.
I'm not even looking at the percentage.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Emilio, subs and donos. Who do we got today?
Well, I don't know. I'm on the wrong page, dude.
I know. I love saying it. I love saying it when like you're clearly doing something else.
Skunk Pliskin, thank you. Tier 1 sub. And he says, I never hear any of you talk about the game of the year. And I have to scroll. God damn it.
Oh,
this is so hard.
Helldivers 2.
Helldivers 2.
Drum rolled.
I love Helldivers 2.
We did an episode.
Yeah, we talked about it when it came out, and Nick was playing it a lot. We talked about it for like 3 weeks, I say, maybe 4.
Yeah, Amanda was on that episode, or maybe she just played with us. But yeah, that's one of our most watched episodes on YouTube, probably because Helldivers was trending at the time and people were interested in it. But go check it out if you want launch day. What that does. When we were playing, I kept like I was fucking stuff up, like calling in orbital strikes on like my friends, like, yeah.
If I remember correctly, I remember Emilio, I think, launching grenades into bug holes but blowing up some of us. I can't remember if that was accurate, but happened.
It was fun to play. Yeah.
Yeah, it was super fun. And Skunk Pliskin says that it's a great time to return, that he took a couple months off and came back to all of the buffs, and that pretty much every single weapon slaps now. So
how much are they paying you, Skunk Pliskin, if that is your real name? That's what I'm wondering.
No. They're doing it for freedom. What do you mean? They're doing it for freedom.
That's my bad. I'm a bug.
You gonna take that, Emilio? That's not very patriotic of you.
Cure it with fire. Okay, return.
That's right. We gotta spread the democracy.
Return of Guess That Sound. Not for sure. This is just a question. You listening, whatever you're doing, are you in your car? Are you cleaning a pool? Are you at the office working hard? Are you in a plane? What are you doing listening to this podcast? I want you to answer me when you can, when you're free. Email pixelshitshow@gmail.com and just say, did you like the Guess the Sound segment? Personally, now I'm going to give my opinion that no one asked for. I liked it because it was something that tied every episode to each other. We were all playing this game together, and I had to give these fun, stupid challenges to my, colleagues who do this show with me. And they danced my dance, and they did it with enthusiasm and vim. And so I like that segment. And we gave away some money. There's some people who have $80, $90 to spend on Steam, however they want, with no one watching. I mean, that's awesome. But did it play well? Did you like it? So just let me know, pixelshitshow@gmail.com, if that was something you liked. And Amanda, take it away. Listener questions.
All right. Yeah, we've got a few listener questions. Thank you very much to everybody that's, posting them. And if you want to post a listener question yourself, then ask us on Discord, which once again, I said it at the top, I'm going to say it again. You can find that Discord link on dlgaming.net and go to our Discord and join. Yes. Isn't it .net? I thought it was .net.
That's what I said. I just want to say it at the same time. Like if you were required.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like
Oh my God,
man.
you got me being like, holy shit, have I been saying it wrong?
No,
No, it is .net.
Like Camp Rock, like they all clap on their chest and then they all say Camp Rock. That's kind of .net. Anyways, this is all going on in my head. This is all going on in my head.
It's good. I like it. I'm glad that you brought it, Yeah. So
it's the first hype man to bring something to a screeching halt instead of
You know what? It worked. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start with first question coming from J Beck Quest saying, I haven't purchased a Steam Deck because I don't think I'll like it going back to joysticks for games where you need to navigate menus and UI where clicking is overall more efficient. How well does the Steam Deck do at making up for a lack of point and click? Is it annoying at times?
Sounds like you're going to get two answers here.
It can be annoying at times, but I think for most games, like in Kingdom Come Deliverance, I'm using the trackpad to track over text and then making it large. But granted, that's a game where
an extra step.
It is an extra step, but it's also a game where most of it is played like you're fighting, like it's first person, you have a sword. The way you swing the sword is very important, so it feels like very tactile. So maybe that's not the best example, but in Against the Storm, I'm constantly reading stuff. There's like 100 items in that game, so many different types of buildings. The most buildings you'll probably ever run into in a city builder, like you're not meant to build all the buildings, not even 10% of them on each run. So that is a lot of navigating, and I don't find it that difficult, especially with the trackpad and the touchpad. Yeah. And
it's all like the sensitivity can all be dialed in to whatever you need. So you have that as well. But I don't play those type of games. Like Amanda said, I play controller games generally, just because it's easy. I don't have to watch YouTube for 4 hours to see how to install it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Well, I kind of agree a little bit more with Christian or somewhere in the middle because, like I said, Anno 1800 is definitely not your controller game. That is a more PC game, and I actually enjoy it on the Steam Deck. And I think what's really saving the Steam Deck and making it so much different than like a Nintendo Switch or any of the other kind of, controller-based games that you could be playing or a console is that you have the touchscreen and the trackpad. Like having both really helps out a lot. Like for Anno 1800, I'm using the trackpad all the time and I'm not finding it really that annoying. It's sensitive, it works well. It's kind of makes me feel like instead of holding my hand on a mouse, I'm just swiping my thumb instead. And so I don't find it that annoying. I guess kind of what I find more annoying is like UI inside of UI. Like I was saying with Baldur's Gate 3, how there's just so many menus now for the Steam Deck version that I'm just, or like essentially the console, because the console version is like that too with Baldur's Gate 3 specifically, that it's just like, yeah, it's radial dials. Everything takes a lot longer to kind of do. And I find that very annoying. Whereas pointing and clicking, especially navigating the menus in UI isn't that bad because of the touchscreen and the trackpad. So I like it.
Days, can you set, this is a dumb question, can you set the game to control more like it does on a PC?
I feel like you kind of can't though, because with a game like that, and I would almost argue that I could see Helldivers 2, going back to that being similar of a problem on the deck, is that there's just too many key bindings, kind of like an MMO.
Yeah.
It's like every button has its purpose. and you just don't have those buttons on the Steam Deck. So then you would need to start utilizing combos, which to me is just like over fucking complicating it,
Right.
you know? And so same with Baldur's Gate 3, because there's a button for everything. So I get why they did the radial dials of menu and the way that they did the UI to work for controllers, but I really hate it on the Steam Deck. But at the same time, what's the solution, right? Like I wouldn't want them to pop up a in-screen keyboard every time I wanted to do something. Like that's not a solution either. So I think it just comes with the territory of doing that. And it works for some people. I think especially if you started Baldur's Gate 3 on a console or you started with a Steam Deck and you just got used to it, it's fine. But I have put in so many hours using my PC being so efficient with my key bindings and things like that, that it's just too much. But for a lot of other things, you know, like especially kind of just using point and clicks, like I do really enjoy playing a lot of point and click games. I would find them actually to be totally fine on a Steam Deck.
J-Beck,
It's just...
a really cool thing that we forgot to announce is that Bobby and Nick have pledged to cover the cost of your Steam Deck. They told me in person, they signed it with blood, if you purchase it and you don't like your experience. So I would say we've given great answers, but just go out and buy one, say how it is, and then message Bobby and Nick, not us, not me, Emilio, or Amanda, Bobby and Nick, and say, where's my money if you don't like your experience. That's what I would do.
Where's my money, Lebowski? But
one thing where I don't think like you don't know if you haven't used one, but what's really nice is like to jump from controller to mouse, you literally just move your thumb over to the trackpad and it's there.
Yeah.
Like you're jumping. You want to go to, you're doing fucking Super Mario, and then all of a sudden you need to fucking like, I don't know, hit a menu item. So you just fucking move your thumb over, and then all of a sudden you have a, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Or not even that. You could just hit the screen. Like you could just hit the button on the screen and boom, like right there. There's a lot of options and it's nice.
Yeah.
I think so long as the game is it like an MMO, like I feel like if it's the kind of MMO game or the kind of game where you would want to keybind 12 keys on the side of your mouse, like maybe the Steam Deck isn't that game, right? But for a lot of the other games, I think navigating menus and UIs are totally fine. Even using a game like Baldur's Gate 3, like when I was in the menu, I did enjoy just hitting it on the screen itself and just getting to different things that way. It was a lot faster. So I don't know. It's give and take
right now, but like it's easier than right here on my PC. If I'm playing on a controller and I need to use my mouse, I got to put my controller down or like move it and then go reach for the mouse, scoot up, reach for the mouse, click around. But on the deck, it's just like beep, boop, boop.
Beep, boop, boop. Buy it.
Beep, boop, boop. That's right. Buy it. All right, next listener question is coming from Warconius. Yes. He says, shout out to this year's DLG Fantasy Critic. The difference between first and second will likely come down to single points. Stalker 2 and Indiana Jones are the games that will determine the winner. Also, any hype for Stalker 2? Did you guys enjoy the original? He says that he likes those Russian, Ukrainian, Eastern Europe shooters like Metro, Stalker, and Atomic Heart.
For Fantasy Critic, real quick, I have it up. It is so close. So this is like a football fantasy league, but for video game releases, we all join a league in the community. And then how well it does on Open Critic. So Open Critic is just a mix of tons of outlets scores on a game. However it does on Open Critic will give you points, and then the highest points win. There's some special stuff you can do. You can trade games, you can draft games, but it's pretty simple. And Scram TX is in the lead with 121 points, but Warconius, the asker of this question, is in second place, and he has those two games, Stalker 2 and Indiana Jones, that he mentioned. So we'll see. It's down to Scram and Warconius who will win this year. Tag won last year. And what's cool about this is you can see every year that we've done it. You can go back and see like, what did people pick? And it's kind of like a scrapbook of what came out that year because you're only drafting games that released this year, obviously. So I like to have this around. It's a great thing. And if that interests you, keep your eyes peeled for next year when we do the 2025 Fantasy Critic. And good luck to Warconius and Scram. I guess better luck to Warconius because he's sent me a Steam Deck. I think he's curried my favor, you know? Yeah, but
you take bribes?
Scram bought you Texas Twinkies, or like, oh no, he brought. What did he bring? That liquor that wasn't tequila or mezcal. Do you remember?
I don't
And
remember.
like a Texas, yeah, they have their own. Texas does everything. They got their own version.
Just
They're
a little
fuck
skewed.
you.
Because Texas.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's Texas.
Yeah.
Cool. But
Yeah.
I haven't played Stalker 2 or actually any Eastern European shooter, Metro, Atomic Heart, none of them. So what do you guys think? Excited?
So the first one I jumped on too late. It's one of those things where like it had aged too much when I played Stalker.
Right.
So I never got. I'm sure I would have been like blown away when if I played it when it came out, which is, I think it was around the time like Half-Life 2 came out or something like that. But yeah, by the time I played it, I had already played fucking way more advanced things, and so it didn't hit the same. But yeah, I like the idea of it. Actually, when you guys were talking about that top-down extraction shooter, I was thinking of Stalker. A lot of it, because it's kind of like that, except for you don't have to extract. But yeah, you got your food, all this stuff, and yeah, hardcore, barren, depressing. Yeah, it's rough. Those games.
Tough games.
Yeah, tough games.
You played
It
Atomic
came
Heart
out in
though, Emilio?
2007.
I did play Atomic Heart, and yeah, it felt like an Eastern. It felt exactly what it is. Like it felt like a Eastern European, Russian Bioshock.
Bioshock, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, which is not like, I'm not talking shit. Like it was good.
Good.
It
Yeah.
was shockingly good.
Bioshockingly good.
Oh,
For me, you know, I've watched a lot of Metro and Stalker played. It falls into that camp for me, which is like a super cool game. I wish I had the balls to play it. I don't. They scare me. They scare me way too much. Like Metro, I watched a lot of Metro being played, and like I got freaked out and had nightmares and was jumping all the time just watching it. I was like, I'm good. I'm playing. Stalker, like I had a buddy that I used to play it a lot, especially the modded and updated version that was recent that they were working on. And it was really cool, but like, yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's too much. It does such a good job, I think, of that intensity and creating that kind of intensity that is super stressful, that I cannot handle. But I think that it's such a good and cool game. So, I mean, I'm personally more hyped for Stalker 2 than Indiana Jones, because I think Stalker 2 would be a game that has way more depth to it than Indiana Jones. But I won't be playing either. And I never played Atomic Heart. I heard such good, amazing things about it. I do remember when Lotion was playing it, and there was a whole bunch of people in the community that was playing it as well. And I know that it's also a very, very good one. I wish I could play a lot of the Eastern European shooters, but they make them really good, and that's why I can't. It's too spooky, which is wild. I can handle some spookiness, but like they do such a good job of making them suspenseful enough that my anxiety takes over and I fuck myself over out of playing the game. So I just can't play them.
it was
but
like,
I know that they're great.
there's like, okay, it's post-apocalyptic. You're eating rats in the sewer. It's always dark outside. There's monsters. Yeah, still not hard enough. Let's make you wear a mask, and it's always raining. So you have to wipe. You have to keep wiping your lens, right? But also, when the action gets going, you start breathing heavier, so it gets foggy. So you got to keep wiping and shooting and wiping. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Like,
And then to get out of the rain, you got to go into this super dark tunnel. There's no lights, so just completely rely on your senses. And every little drop, who knows? It could be a dude trying to kill you, or it could just be a fucking pipe leaking.
You're like
good luck.
pouring the gunpowder in the bullets, like the boardroom of
it's
Eastern
intense.
Europeans are like, yes, and continue.
yeah.
I think the
When
toughest
does this
Eastern
game
European,
get hard?
right? Yeah, they make tough games. I think the only Eastern European game I can handle is Escape from Tarkov, and that's sweaty enough as it is.
That is pretty sweet. Yeah.
So yeah, and so these ones, it's tough. So speaking of that kind of stuff, J Beck Quest has the next question. He says, name 3 games you keep going back to. For him, it's Rocket League, RimWorld, and Crusader Kings. For me, it's going to be Escape from Tarkov, probably Call of Duty. I am interested in playing Black Ops 6 because of this, and Elder Scrolls Online. What about you guys?
First of all, J Beck, you are a smarter person than I, because I cannot play RimWorld nor Crusader Kings. I've tried and I can't. I cannot do it. And Rocket League is, I feel like everybody's magical in there, and I'm in a car. They're like,
but they're like in a magic car. They're like
they're
dribbling
in a magic car,
Yeah.
and I'm in a car.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's that. But yeah, Binding of Isaac, of course, always. Damn, playing TF2 felt so good. I've booted it up a couple times since DLG Con.
Oh, cool.
It's
That's awesome.
a fucking perfect game, man. I love that game. What else do I always go back to? Probably, I'm looking here. Playing Street Fighter. Yeah.
Street Fighter.
I'm always down for some Street Fighter. I got to be careful when I play it though, because it gets the blood pumping. So I can't play before bed, because then I'm too amped up. Like I get literal adrenaline. It's the only game that gets adrenaline going.
Cool.
Yeah.
For me, you said Crusader Kings, and I've been playing so much fucking Crusader Kings. Okay. I wanted to talk about it next episode, though. God, it's a good story. I'm going to save it. Crusader Kings, Mechabellum, and then this game called A Legionary's Life, which is like really basic graphics, mostly a text options game, but like an old school RPG where like you are just a legionary in an army. And if you decide to go out and an arrow hits you in the knee and then you get an infection and die, that is the end of the RP. No saves, nothing. But it's also a roguelite. So each time you die, you get a little bit of money and you can reinvest that into the next role of your character. So eventually over time, you get to like the head of the legionary and then the head of the centurion. And then you go to all these campaigns along the Mediterranean, and it's like pretty accurate to history, but very unforgiving combat wise. So those are the three for me.
Yes, sir.
Very cool. Nice. Next question coming in from Zap. He asks, what is your favorite trash TV show? If I could guess your guys's, I'm going to say it's Love is Blind.
I was just going to say right now, me and Rhiannon were watching Love is Blind Habibi, bro. So good. I love the Love is Blind cultural. I don't know how accurate it is.
What culture? What are you talking about?
Well, like
because there's one in different countries.
Yeah.
Every country has one.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. I thought you were saying the Love is Blind culture. I was like, there's
no.
no culture with Hannah and Zach, or whatever the fuck the people.
Oh, you are watching it.
I'm not, dude. I just see
Hannah's
the
this season.
Hannah and Zach. You said it.
It is Hannah and Zach? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not convincing me.
So yes, it is trash TV, but the experiment works, dude. Nobody's been divorced. All the marriages are still, and this is like 7 years in. There's now Love is Blind babies. I think there's a couple of them now, because I only know because Sam was watching I don't watch it that much, but she was watching the like major reunion of like when they brought back people from the first one and stuff like that. So it seems like it works when it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still trash.
Yeah, it is trash. Love is Blind, but it's also not for a lot of people. I think it just depends on the person and the connection. Because
some people see each other for the first time, and it's so awkward.
Yeah, they're
so
like
awkward.
They're
right?
like
You can. They're like, oh,
yeah. And then one person's always like more excited than the other. They're like, will you marry me? And then they're like, eh.
I said I would.
For the experiment.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to leave you at the altar. Anyways.
Amanda?
It's trash. That's trash. I will not watch Love is Blind. But my trash TV, which, I mean, it's still trash. I'm a huge fan of like the drag queen competitions and drag queen shows. Yeah, RuPaul's Drag Race I've strayed away from a little bit. I've been watching more of the other ones. Like they have Drag Race Spain and Drag Race France, and those ones are really fun too. I really love the Drag Race Spain and Drag Race Mexico because obviously they're in Spanish and it's really fun to watch that. I've been watching a lot of Dragula now that it's come out, which is like the alternate punk, grunge, horror, dark side of drag queens. And so you'll get even cosplayers. Like one of the challenges was to create a D&D campaign where they all had to come up in their own monsters and act out a D&D one shot, which was really funny. Like they had to act it out. They had props and everything. And so that's a pretty cool, pretty big blast. And so that tends to be kind of my only trash TV. And I don't know. I mean, like, I think on some way it's not entirely trash because these are really talented artists, but at the end of the day it's still a reality TV show, so it's still trash because there's drama. But I kind of just skip through it because I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. But sometimes it's funny, like one chick threw a raw chicken at another chick, and that's it's a good time. Love is blind, right? Here, have a chicken.
It's kind of like the same thing. I was also gonna say like Korean competition shows I've been watching.
I've been on the Korean. Sorry, keep going, but yes,
but
dude.
they're not trash. Like they're really well produced.
Yes, it's so crazy. Like, is this?
And
the
they're not
best
as
cooking
salacious
show?
as American TV.
No,
it's not nearly as salacious.
They're so respectful.
They're very respectful. Yeah. So
it's been great.
See, sex doesn't have to sell, but don't tell that to America because. Yeah, according to America, it does.
The Korean shows are kind of next level. Like I've been really enjoying a couple of them. My problem with the Drag Race shows is I watched, was it season 1 or season 2? One of the first seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race, and there was this drag queen, Bob the Drag Queen, bro.
Yes.
Literally one of the best. I'm not in the drag queen world. Like I have no idea what's going on, but I watched that season. I was like, holy fuck. I'm so entertained and this seems so challenging. And then it never lived up to like what they did on that show ever. Like Bob the Drag Queen knocked out of the park and I'm always chasing that high. And then I'm like, I don't really want to watch this anymore.
That drag queen is so phenomenal. Bob the Drag Queen's amazing. Bianca Del Rio's amazing. Like there's some drag queen like shows and seasons where you can tell right away within like 2 or 3 episodes. You're like, this one's gonna win or in the top 3. There's no doubt about it. And so the really good shows is when they can, or the really good seasons, I should say, is when they can cast kind of like a better blend where you really don't know. Like I would argue Dragula, this season of Dragula, I don't know, man. There's a whole bunch of queens that are like so good that I could see any of them making it. And so that's pretty great. But yeah, I haven't watched too much RuPaul's Drag Race specifically in the last like few seasons because the same thing. It's kind of like it's really hard to live up to that, especially when there are other, like Drag Race Netherlands and Drag Race Australia. Like they have all these other ones now going on that are completely run within those countries that are really cool and kind of better to watch because I think that there's a fire with the early seasons of Drag Race because it's just kind of like, this is our chance to really showcase our country. This is our chance to really showcase these people that haven't gotten recognition for so long. Whereas RuPaul's Drag Race itself has been kind of the standard for so long that it's just like I don't know. It's starting to get to be the same to me, right? And so, yeah.
All right. Last question, Amanda. What's going on?
Yes. The last question coming from Zap, which maybe this is going to be super controversial.
No,
maybe
it's
not.
It's not.
But are you guys a shoes on or shoes off kind of household? And why are other people wrong?
Here's the thing with that. Like the people who take off their shoes before they get in the house are correct. But I won't do it. Like we don't do it. But that is probably the best way to do it.
That's disgusting, Emilio.
Yeah.
It's obviously the best way. Yeah. Like shoes on outside, shoes off inside, so I don't take outside inside.
Right.
Yeah,
it's the right way. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're all 3 Supreme Court justices declare on this show, declare shoes off inside. We're in agreement. Yep. And everyone knows the other people are wrong, right?
I wonder if he kind of means it in a way of like if you have house shoes, because I have met lots of people
shoes?
that
what?
I've met lots of people, especially even like up here. There has been a lot of people where it's like you come inside and you take off your shoes and then you put on slippers, or like they have shoes for only inside.
How many shoes?
You guys not experienced
this is crazy. This is like first world. Oh, I have inside shoes. Like what? What are you talking about? Just you have inside shoes. They're socks. You have socks on your feet. That's crazy. I've never heard of inside shoes.
Oh yeah. I think a lot of times though it's slippers is what it is.
The whole
you
time
take off your shoes
inside?
and you put on your slippers.
Are people scared of their feet touching the ground? I've changed my opinion. No shoes inside or outside. We're done with shoes. That's
my guess is like, well, some people probably just like the feeling, and then like my guess too would be if it's cold, you know, like I've noticed it maybe more in like places that are hard floors, so it's probably a cold thing, or I don't know, like you just, yeah, you have inside shoes. I'm not saying I do. What I do is I take off my shoes when I get inside, and I put on socks if my feet are feeling cold, or I just barefoot it, but I want my floor to be clean. Like right now, we've been moving a ton of things around, and it's very dusty, so
yeah.
I'm wearing socks.
Of course, socks.
So,
Dude,
yeah.
This is crazy. The inside shoes thing, it reminds me when I had this coworker who said, I can only sleep with socks. I go, what?
Oof.
I was like, when do you take them, like to shower is the only time he took his socks off. And I just thought, how strange, how very strange and weird. He's like, no, I put clean socks on at night. So it's not like they're gross. But it's just a thing that apparently his whole family did. And I thought that sounds like a lot of, okay, whatever. Not for me.
Meanwhile, we're all raw dogging sleep, dude. We're all raw dogging it, you know, no socks. just bare feet.
No, nothing.
Bed.
Just me and my nuts.
No, nothing.
All right. Next episode, what's everyone playing?
I'm probably going to finish some Elk. Honestly, I want to finish this Elk game. It's so weird. It's so bizarre. I'm hoping that I can play a little bit of Black Ops 6.
Oh, that one looked awesome.
I've been wanting to check it out. Yeah, I've been wanting to check that out. And I don't know, I might try and play a couples game with my partner, because that would be fun. We got to find a game to play.
Well, Black Ops 6, that's $70 now, right? It has to be.
No, dude, just get on Game Pass.
Oh.
It's the way to go. Game Pass is the way to go. It's all there.
Wow. Cool. I want to thank the community for sending me games. I'm laid off right now, so I'm not trying to spend any kind of money whatsoever. I haven't bought myself a single thing in like 4 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah, it has been a month. Anyway, so thank you to Burn Division, sent me Karate Survivor. I've been playing the shit out of that. I got a lot to talk about it next week when we have a regular episode. I want to thank John. He sent me 3 games. He sent me Windblown, which is fucking sick. I'll talk about that next week. And a couple other games, Shogun Showdown, and Turtle Splintered Fate, which I'll probably be playing with him. Well, I'll be playing all of these with him. That's how he ropes me in, guilts me into it. So those will be my games that I'm playing. But for sure, Karate Survivor. I want to at least beat all the levels on the standard difficulty. Man, can't get away from these Survivor likes, man. Fucking they keep coming with these little tweaks.
I was shocked when I listened to the episode with Nick and his he just treated
hatred for them.
His hatred.
He won't even try it.
His raw hatred. He's sitting at the dinner table. He didn't even take a bite of a banana. He's like, all bananas are gross. It's just weird. Like, why would you not try and play one? Anyways, he's not here to defend himself.
Call out.
Okay.
Actually, for somebody who has over a year as being a patron, let's use your powers.
Use your powers
to make him play one for 3 hours.
For the power of good.
Yeah, that was his idea.
Yeah,
I think I'm pretty sure that was his idea. So he has to abide by it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hear.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Cool. I think that's an episode, Emilio.
I think that's an episode.
Speaking for Christian, Amanda, and the 2 knuckleheads that aren't here, let's go with Karate Titties. Hi-ya!
Bye.
Bye.
Missed an opportunity by saying titties on deck.
Ah.
Okay, got it in the outro.